Now, as always, the transfers for this week have been pretty interesting. We've had, the new most expensive defender in the world, which I'm not going to talk about just yet. We've had a FIFA legend move to another league, and I've got another confirmed video I'm going to be doing on Sunday. If you want to see that video, drop a like as well. If we get 3,000 likes, I'll do a double upload potentially of not in FIFA 18 and then obviously the confirmed transfers. Now, if you do wonder where I get my transfer rumors from, check out OneFootball. It's an app. It's in the description down below. You can download it completely free of charge. There'll be a link in the description down below. That is where I get all my transfer rumors. They have a really, really good transfer section that says about players going to certain clubs all the time. It's very, very good app. I wouldn't recommend something like that unless I used it myself. So guys, go over there, check it out. Now, I think it is time we do move into the first player as always in this episode. Now, I'm going to start off with a big story of the week. Now, it's a little worse, a few days old, but it's a big story. It's the most expensive defender in the world, and it's actually Mendy, Man City, right? Mendy's gone to Man City from Monaco. Now, Mendy is signed for like 50-odd million pounds, which is absolutely huge. Obviously, he signed a big, big contract, but there's a little bit of an interesting story coming out about him. Pep Guardiola revealed yesterday. New signing, Benjamin Mendy will miss the start of Manchester City's 2017-2018 Premier League season with a thigh injury. That's what Pep Guardiola's come out and said. Pep Guardiola? That sounded a little bit weird, didn't it? But anyway, the 50-year-old, or not 50-year-old, the 50 million pound defender, I should say, did not feature in City's 4-1 pre-season victory over Real Madrid in LA. Now, Guardiola actually confirmed that the defender has been nursing the injury for 8 months and is doubtful for City's Premier League opener against Brighton. Alright, so if you didn't know that, a little bit of information there. Now, it was Kyle Walker who I featured last week. He was the transfer record for most expensive defender. Now, Mendy's broken that already in like a week later. So, Kyle Walker held the record and has been beaten by Mendy a week later. The exact same club has signed another defender more expensive than Kyle Walker. Really, really strange situation, but it can happen. I think, it's really, really interesting. I mean, he's got obviously 50 million pounds plus add-ons and bonuses, and obviously that would make him the most expensive defender in the world. But the fact that City are signing all these fullbacks and all these defenders and stuff like that just shows an area they really want to improve. And Danilo, Kyle Walker, and now Mendy is definitely a good step forward to do that. Now, I think it's fair I do mention, okay, that this guy next up is a FIFA legend, and he really, really is a FIFA legend, alright? Victor Ababo has gone to the J League, right? He's gone to Japan. Now, Victor Ababo completes £440,000 move, okay, to Sangun Tosu, probably pronounced that wrong, from Cagliari on a 2-year deal. So this guy's gone for less than £500,000, so not big money, and you're thinking, Rossi, well, if you're not a FIFA player, you're thinking, why even mention this guy? He's gone from Italian league to Japan, like, why are we even talking about this guy? Well, this guy used to be one of the best, most OP strikers on FIFA. Now, the 27-year-old, that's right, he's not that old, he's joined on a permanent basis after spending the second half of the season on loan there. So as you guys can see, the J League, it's going to be very, very interesting next year. We've got Podolski that's also moved there. We've now got Victor Ababo. He's already been there on loan for a while, but he's going to stay in Japan, okay? He's going to stay over there. He's obviously really enjoying it. But yeah, will we see this guy ever in Europe ever again? Will we see this guy, doing bits and actually in Ultimate Teams? Because looking at his card here, this 81 striker card that he's got, it's got 94 pace for the Japan team. He's got good dribbling, good physical stats. Like, his card on FIFA is actually really, really good, alright? It's just very, very good. Now, I haven't seen this story actually covered, alright? So I'm going to talk about it very quickly here, because this guy's been signed for £35 million, which is not a small money, but it's not been in the mainstream media. Now, Juventus have signed this guy, Federico Bernardeschi. If I pronounce that right or wrong, Italians, let me know. But anyway, Juventus have signed this Fiorentina forward for £35 million. So it's big money. You're not seeing this in the mainstream media, but I'm going to cover it because that's what I do. I try to cover all the good transfers, all the big transfers, all the FIFA-related transfers, like a barbell. I do try to cover on my channel. But how can I not feature this guy? How can I not mention a £35 million transfer? Like, how can I not talk about it? Anyway, let's have a little look at this guy. 23-year-old who scored 11 league goals last season, has spent 3 years at Florence. Now, this guy has 9 senior Italian caps, okay, and he impressed during this summer's European Under-21 Championship. Now, Juve actually described him as one of Europe's most promising attacking talent. Now, of course, they've already signed like Douglas Costa, they've already signed Cuadrado on a permanent basis. So this guy, I mean, the competition for places in that team and the attacking areas and stuff is huge. We've got Costa, Cuadrado, we've got obviously this guy. I mean, we're not even talking about Dybala, Higuain, blah, 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 blah. They've got so many attacking options. It's actually good competition. It's going to be healthy, I think. Now, this guy is now expected to travel to the US, where Juventus are on a pre-season tour, so we'll link up with the team. We all join up with them. So yeah, it's really crazy. Just because this guy's not in the Premier League, he's not come to a Premier League club, blah, 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 blah. All our like mainstream medias over here, Sky Sports, BBC Sports, blah, 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 are just not really focusing on this sort of big money Italian transfer. I suppose these days, £35 million is not really like big money, which is a shame, because it's still a lot of money, it is a lot of money, but it's just not the money it used to be, if that makes any sense. Now, only people are interested in like if it's 50 mil, 60, 70, 80, 90, whatever. No one's really caring about 35 mil anymore, really. But yeah, it's all gone mad. Football games all gone mad. So this time, just move into the fourth player, basically. Now, we've got a bit of an interesting one next. Someone else has gone to MLS, which is not uncommon these days, because a lot of players do go over there. But the reason why I'm featuring this is because Jonathan Dos Santos has gone to LA Galaxy, and he's joining his brother. That's right. Pretty interesting story. Now, LA Galaxy signed Mexican midfielder Jonathan Dos Santos as designated player. I don't really know what designated player means. Like, is that some sort of special thing that MLS sort of league has? I don't really know. So this is like a bit of an interesting deal because, you know, obviously it's another player going to MLS. Fairly well-known player. Obviously, he was in Spain before that. He's pretty well known in the league. His brother's pretty well known. His brother was at Tottenham, I think, back in the day. Obviously, he's out MLS doing his thing, whatever. And now Jonathan Dos Santos is now following him and making the same move. Now, he's only 27 years of age, so he's not, you know, I mean, I'm not going to try and put down the league here because I really do like the league. But a lot of players do go over there when they're about 30 or whatever like that because, you know, they see it as a little bit of a retirement, blah, blah, blah. But Dos Santos, mate, 27 years of age, a few years before that, he's still going for it. He wants to perform high level. Now, obviously, the MLS season's already happened or already, you know, going on and stuff like that. So, joining up the squad a little bit late, but the second half of the season, he could still do bits for him. Question is, who's better out of Dos Santos brothers? Is it Giovanni or is it obviously Jonathan? Who's actually better? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, this signing actually happened today, so this is very, very good news. Very quick, obviously, on the ball, reliable news. Ashley Fletcher has gone to Middlesbrough. So, they signed the striker from West Ham for £6.5 million. Only one season, I believe, he had at West Ham. It didn't quite go to plan, did it? Now, of course, he signed a 4-year deal, which is pretty good. But anyway, Fletcher, 21, left the Hammers training camp in Germany on Thursday to begin talks with the Championship club. Now, Borough have now spent about £30 million on strikers this summer. Okay, I've already got Assombalonga and obviously Braithwaite. I can't pronounce his name. Anyway, League 1 striker is pretty good. Now, Fletcher actually joined Manchester United, okay, in 2016. Well, joined West Ham from Manchester United in 2016. Scored once in 20 games with the Hammers. And I think that was against Man United as well. I'm not even joking. But he's thinking, whilst he was on loan at Barnsley in 2015-16 season, Fletcher scored 8 goals in 27 appearances in the Championship where they won promotion. So he's thinking Championship might be a good little spot for him. But obviously, you know, 1 year at West Ham didn't go to plan. 1 goal in 20 games for a striker is not that good of a ratio. But he scored against Manchester United, which is a bit weird and obviously interesting. Do I think this is a good move for him? Probably. Get more game time, obviously, in the Championship at Middlesbrough, and maybe that standard suits him. When he played at Barnsley, was it Barnsley or Burnley? Which one was it he played for previously? Barnsley. When he played there for Barnsley previously, obviously he did a lot better than what he did West Ham in the Prem, so could be a better option for him. Oh, I've just realised my hair. Wow. Now, last but not least, we've got a player that probably not many people really care about. That's why I've left him to the last. To be honest, I'm not going to lie to you. We actually have Phil Bardsley. Now, you lot may remember this from, well, this guy from that video, Rooney, when he punched him and knocked Rooney out in his own, like, kitchen or whatever. Yeah, I remember that video. That's one of the main things I remember about him, to be fair. Not about his time at Man United, but the fact he knocked out Rooney. That's all I really remember. Anyway, Burnley have signed defender Phil Bardsley from Premier League rival Stoke City for an undisclosed fee. Now, the 32-year-old former Scotland international signed a 2-year deal, so it's not massive, but he is 32 years of age. Now, this is not the first time he's been at Burnley. Now, believe it or not, in 2006, he spent 1 month on loan at Burnley. 1 month on loan. That's pretty weird. It was obviously some sort of, like, I don't know, emergency loan or something like that. Anyway, this is the club's 4th signing of the summer. He's come out and said they're still fighting the belly to achieve things in football, and what a great chance. Coming back here, you were only there for a month, and playing again at Turf Moor is going to be a great challenge and one I'm looking forward to. Now, prior to signing, obviously, Bardsley, Burnley have recruited John Walters, also from Stoke, midfielder Jack Cork from Swansea, and defender Charlie Taylor from Leeds. So, to be fair, they've made some actually not bad signings, Burnley. They've made some not bad signings, and Bardsley, very well experienced defender. But yeah, hopefully he's going to do bits for him. Anyway, guys, what I'm going to do is briefly talk through all the transfers right at the end. If you have enjoyed this video, drop a like and a thumbs up down below in this video. That would be greatly appreciated. Obviously, I'm going to do another confirmed episode on Sunday. Hopefully, lots of transfer news happens. If it doesn't, then I'll do a rumour episode. Obviously, subscribe to me for more transfer videos. Transfer window's still going. We've got August to go yet. That's going to be big. First up, we've got Mendy then, of course. Most expensive defender in the world. Transfer record has been smashed for this guy. 1 week after, obviously, Carl Walker broke the record, and the same club signed another player in a similar position and broke the record once again. So that's pretty crazy, but I think he'll do well. We had a very good season at Monaco last year. Then we got Victor Ababo, not really interesting one. He was already in the J League on loan. He was already there for, like, you know, a season or half a season last year. He's gone there on a permanent basis. We're still going to see him on FIFA unless obviously EA lose the rights for the J League, which they could, but I don't really know. That's not really my area of expertise, is it? Then we got Bernardeschi, if I pronounce that right, to Juventus. No one cares about this guy. right? And he's, you know, £35 million player and no one seems to care. Not the UK media don't really give a shit. But, you know, if you're an Italian fan or a Serie A fan, you'll know a lot about this guy and you will appreciate that I probably mentioned it in this video. Hopefully he does well. Big price tag, big club. Good luck. Jonathan Dos Santos has gone to MLS, LA Galaxy, joining up with his brother. His brother's probably talked him into the move, to be fair, and probably talked the club into it as well. How much of a good player he is, doing bits in Spain, MLS really should be fairly simple for him. You know, standard-wise, it's a little bit harder in Spain, so he should have fun. Ashley Fletcher, obviously the Middlesbrough, they've signed like 2 other strikers this transfer window. They want to get straight back up into the Premier League. Didn't work out for him at West Ham. Maybe didn't quite work out for him at Manchester United neither, but hopefully Middlesbrough is going to be the one for him. Last but not least, we've got Phil Bardsley, of course. Very well experienced guy. He's Burnley. I don't really need to talk about this guy. He's been there before, only for 1 month, to be fair, but he knows a little bit about the club. Very, very well experienced player. Anyway, guys, take it easy. Hopefully you have a good weekend. Peace.